Welcome to the Cloud Provider Keynote session. I'm Jason Fritsch and I run sales for Juniper's Global Cloud Provider segment. I'm joined today by Mansoor Karam, Vice President of Products and former co-founder and CEO of Apstra. Welcome, Mansoor.
Thank you, Jason. It's good to be here.
Juniper's been a market leader ever since the inception of cloud. In fact, we are #1 in cloud routing, according to leading cloud market research company, the 650 Group. In fact, in overall routing percentage of revenue for the top 5 cloud providers, Juniper leads all global competitors and has been growing share for the last 4 years. This position allows us to really understand your needs, and it allows us to see the future of networking more clearly than our peers. Over the last decade, we've seen many cloud networking trends emanate to the broader market. You've been talking, we've been listening. Here are some of the key cloud networking trends that we've noted. First, massive scale and performance. We're confident that we've got this covered with routing platforms that reliably scale your network and deliver cost-efficient, ultra-high performance. But we're not stopping there. Second, disaggregation. There's physical disaggregation, also known as scale-out. This is favoring smaller, fixed form factor platforms versus traditional chassis-based systems. The advantages here include smaller blast radius and the ability to add smaller increments of capacity. There's also software disaggregation, which unbundles the networking OS from the hardware. And you can take this a step further by disaggregating the software itself. We've done this with our new Junos Evolved operating system, a cloud-optimized network OS with microservices architecture that delivers resiliency, feature velocity, and programmability. It's important to note that the large cloud providers that we work with have the institutional capabilities in automation and orchestration to manage the increased architectural complexity that comes with disaggregation. Third, open multi-vendor systems and a culture of experimentation that favors rapid execution over long-term strategy and planning. There's now in effect a series of cloud architectural principles driven primarily by hyperscalers like Google, Amazon, and Microsoft that go hand in hand with these cloud trends. Mansoor is going to talk a little bit more about these principles.
Thanks, Jason. Part of our founding mission at Apstra was to democratize these cloud principles and develop some of these technologies and package them as a turnkey product so we could make them available to you, every company that depends on a networking infrastructure to run your business. The first key principle that arises from these macro trends is abstraction. There are multiple layers of abstraction. There is a shift to an intent-based thinking, outcome-based. It's moving from imperative to declarative. You tell the system the outcome you want to accomplish rather than how to do it. Second, modularity. This goes hand in hand with the disaggregation trend that Jason mentioned. Open APIs are key here, as is the availability of software libraries for third-party developers. This allows you to take advantage of the innovation of the larger ecosystem. And third, telemetry. Operations begins with the system data, the telemetry. The goal is to instrument everything that needs to be instrumented and consolidate into a single source of truth. As more devices provide more telemetry, and as software-defined layers of infrastructure add management ease, it becomes necessary to gather telemetry from the various infrastructure layers and to capture the state of the network and the relationships between the various layers. The state is then used to provide unified visibility to determine the root cause of anomalies and to quickly troubleshoot problems.
Thanks, Mansoor. And if you're operating your data center, these capabilities are critical to keeping up with business demands. Now, as you know, not everything is moving to public clouds. The world is and will continue to be multi-cloud and hybrid cloud, consisting of multiple public clouds as well as on-premises data centers, depending on the workload. And this is why bringing these cloud principles to all companies that operate data centers is so important. Today, success in the cloud is more important than ever because application software is the determining factor in technology user experience, which is at the center of staff and customer experience. Most of that application software runs on data center infrastructure, whether it is on-premise or in a public cloud. So it's not hard to understand that the challenge of building and operating data centers today is less about total cost of ownership and more about revenue and risk. I began here today by telling you that we've been the dominant player in cloud routing for years. As you've heard Rami earlier and David Sheraton, we're doubling down on simplifying data center operations as well. Mansoor, why don't you now take us through how we're doing this?
Yes, absolutely, Jason. You're right. Not every workload will be run on a public cloud. In fact, it is often far cheaper, more secure, and more reliable to run a private cloud. This is true as long as the network infrastructure is automated effectively to provide a simple and predictable operational model. This makes your networking automation strategy crucially important. You need a data center infrastructure that will enable you to run at the speed of the business, and automation software is key to make that happen. If you're a do-it-yourselfer, you could use Apstra to deliver a turnkey automation capability, which you can then integrate through Apstra's open APIs with your CI/CD pipeline and the other components in your infrastructure. This is what Yahoo Japan has done, utilizing the Apstra solution to fully automate and operate their network, while leveraging Ansible to integrate Apstra with the rest of their workflows. Yahoo Japan also uses Apstra's streaming telemetry to stream the telemetry that Apstra has collected to third-party databases such as InfluxDB. If, on the other hand, you want automation software that will fully automate your network turnkey, then the Apstra solution is ideal for you. In fact, we have customers that have gone from 0 to a fully operational automated network in 30 minutes. Regardless of the type of customer that you are, we've found that everyone needs software that allows small teams to efficiently operate and scale their data centers. In either case, you'll benefit from the power of intent-based networking and its simple and predictable operational model. Our customers have realized 83% reduction in OpEx, 99% improvement in agility, and 70% reduction in mean time to resolution with Apstra. If you're struggling with agility versus reliability or concerned with vendor lock-in, we can help. Our mission is to deliver the hyperscaler operational experience to all cloud companies, all enterprises, and all network service providers without vendor lock-in. Our mantra is experience-first networking for data center operators, you, and their end users. And this is built on a foundation of intent-driven, closed-loop automation and remediation for the entire service lifecycle with a unified toolset across architects and operators, starting with day zero, design, with telemetry at the base to automate capacity, forecasting, and demand planning, and pre-validated designs that install quickly. We help you with a disciplined approach to designing data centers in a repeatable fashion. Then comes day one, deployment. Abstraction is critical here. Apstra is the pioneer in intent-based networking. When you abstract out the infrastructure so that the services are driven by blueprints, your solution is inherently multi-vendor. Data center operators describe the what, and our blueprints deliver the how, pushing configurations to the infrastructure while validating that the network is indeed working as intended. Complexity is the enemy of improving all factors of cost, revenue, and risk. Simplicity is the cure, and it is at the core of everything we do at Juniper to remove, abstract out, and automate out complexity. Simplicity is also a prerequisite for reliability and predictability. For example, BeElastic, another Apstra customer, went from a proof of concept to full production in 2 weeks. Then, last but certainly not least, day 2. The ongoing operations and management of the data center fabric. You have moves, adds, changes. You need to troubleshoot issues when they arise. You need to do software updates. EVPN VXLAN data centers are not easy to manage or operate. Ansible templates proved useful, and they solve some problems, but not enough. We've proven that Apstra reduces the time and personnel required to manage your data center network. The blueprint is the single source of truth, so the system can continuously validate operations to match this. Apstra continuously compares the operational state with the intent. The delivered servers must match the intended blueprint. This is closed-loop assurance, and Apstra provide guardrails when changes are required. Apstra also pinpoints the root cause of problems and instantly isolates failures. We lower the mean time to innocence when end users are complaining about downtime. Apstra decouples the management plane from the infrastructure, so it's inherently open and multi-vendor. Set your operational model around what you need, not a vendor. The end result is scalable and simple to operate EVPN VXLAN networks for a wide range of environments and independent of size. Be sure to watch the Apstra demo in the data center track, and you can see all of this in action. What this also means is that you get to do more with far less and dramatically reduce the probability of making costly mistakes. This means peace of mind and more time focusing on other areas that matter to you. If you're like me, this means spending more time with your family and kids. If you missed out on dinner with family because you were troubleshooting some problem, or if you had to stay late at night to manage a network update, then this is not too good to be true. We can help. How does this all sound to you, Jason?
It sounds great, Mansour. And what it means to you is simple. A smooth data center and network operations experience, and ultimately, faster innovation. Please be sure to watch our customer interviews, the data center content track, as well as the rest of the show. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.